Okay, you need to get your medium, heavy, light carries ready, whether it's in a bag or whether it's in 2 jugs. And I'm telling you, one of the easiest way to get a carry going, if you're just starting with me and you have been told osteoporosis, you have arthritis, you can't do this, it hurts this, you got to start planning to keep living. And one of the best ways to really get strength going is to do carries. So we're going to do variations on carries today. One-legged standing with weights, etc. So get those things ready and we're going to get going because you're here and we're ready to go. So basically, and I'm finishing, loading. I keep doing 1 or 2 a day. If you have a tea towel, if you have a little stretchy band, that's a good way to start. To have in your area, if you have carries, which I talked about carries. So you can do it in several forms. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up my 2 tins because you know what? If I was heading out to the garage, if I was heading out to the barn, if I was just heading outside, if I lived in an apartment and I was going to go outside or go anywhere, I would normally pick something up and put it in my car. Do you see what I'm doing? I picked up 2 gallons. They're full of water. This is 10 pounds and this is 10 pounds. I know it. Water weighs a lot. And these are heavy duty bottles. They're not going to be leaking on me. And you're wondering, oh, where can I get those? Where can I get those? You know what these are? This is a colonoscopy prep bottle that they give you. So I'm all into reusing. So what am I doing? I'm simply taking a few steps forward, but I'm really measuring how I'm walking. And why? Because I just added 20 pounds to my frame. See that? And when I step, if I'm not careful, I tend to lock, especially on my hip replaced side. So my whole body right now in this little step, see this, is having to adjust all the way up the spine, into the shoulders, everywhere. And I know that I tend to wobble and I tend to lean and lock my leg when I walk on this. This is my hip replaced side. So I'm saying if you have 2 carries, and let's say you don't have your jugs with you, okay? Well, then pick up 2 cans of food, preferably not glass because you're going to drop them. Okay, hopefully it doesn't go on your toe, but you need to be able to hold it in your hand. So even a little bit of a can of something. Usually a can that you can hold in your hand is 15 ounces. That's something. Okay, look what I'm doing. I'm doing repeated stepping. I'm rolling to the toe in the back. Then I come back, okay? When I'm in this position, ready to step again, I reposition. And for those of you out there that have all kinds of arthritis type issues, you have osteoporosis, you have injuries, your back, you've been told maybe you have spinal stenosis. Well, guess what you have to do? You have to extend yourself. So every step that I take right here, see, I'm rolling through the back foot. I'll turn to the side so you'll see what I'm doing. And again, I'm doing all of this, even in the warm up to go into the class, I've started a gentle carry. Do you see how I'm stepping? And then I keep that knee soft. I roll all the way to the toes. Then I press into the heel. And then right now I say rib cage up. I drop my chin. I lower my body and then I push off the toes to get my foot back. Okay, now I have just gone through ad nauseum the mechanics of this type of motion, because a lot of times we just take for granted and we just say, oh, well, okay, put one foot in front of the other. Well, if you put one foot in front of the other and you're not thinking about how you're carrying yourself, what's your spine doing? How are you pressing off your toe? How's it feeling? Have I got my rib cage lifted? So if you lift your rib cage, that right there is going to extend your back. And it's like almost, you just can't believe that you're bending forward as much as you are. I know. And when people start telling you, then you know you're really doing it a lot. Okay, so I'm doing repeated stepping, and every time I come back to neutral, which this is neutral, okay, it's before I step. Number one, I drop my chin and push it back. That is retraction. This is protraction. And y'all don't know it, but you walk around like this all day. Okay? And some of you are going to say, oh, not me. I'm like, okay, let me measure you. And I would put you up against a wall and I would have you pull your chin in. Some of you have done this with me personally. And there's a little space between your head, the back of your head, not the top of your head. You don't do that. That's a cheater move. There's a space between the back of your head and the wall because of going into a poor postural stance. Because when you're walking around, doing tasks, working, playing, whatever, shopping, doing dishes, etc. Yes, keep doing this repeatedly. This is your warm-up. Number one, I'm starting to load. See this? We're going to do variations on carries today. Because if you want to add bone density, then you've got to put a load that goes through your spine, that you can handle, that doesn't put your joints in a weirdo position that's going to hurt them. See, as I step out, I take big breaths through my nose. Yes, I want you to emphasize keeping your mouth closed and breathing through the nose. Okay, so that's hard to do when you're talking. So I'm breathing in through my nose. Yeah. So as I step, see this, I'm giving my ankles, my feet. See how I rotate into the balls of the feet and I lift the heel? See that? And I lower just a bit. My shoulders are down. Yeah, my chin is tucked. And if I looked at you from the side, I would want to see your ear over your shoulder. I would want to see your shoulder over your hip. And when you step forward, this is what you normally will see. And see, this is not what I want to see right now. I want to see this right here. So how do you do that? I just told you. Drop your shoulders, pull your chin in. Yeah, lift your rib cage. Woo! And now press back, okay? And get ready to do the other one. I'm hesitating this time, in case you didn't notice. Drop your shoulders. Yeah, I know it. Take a big breath through your nose. So when I talk with people and I work with people, see what I'm doing? See what I'm doing? I'm checking my posture, number one. Rib cage up, chin is tucked, knee in the back is bending. Yeah, I want to put that kind of pressure through all the way down through the spine and through the hips and through the foot. Now I'm going to press back and come back. Now, if that was hard for you to do and you stepped too far, then don't do that. Step just a little bit and then come back. okay? Step just a little bit and then come back. Now, along with this kind of a move, I'm gonna do a little move in this warm up. I'm gonna turn this way so you see what I'm doing. Number one, I'm gonna tuck my chin. And why do I say tuck my chin? Because if I say, pull your chin back, you know what you do? You pull your chin back, but you do this. Now we'll do that as an exercise in a minute, but when you truly retract your head, and some of you, I understand you can't retract your head because you're stuck out here. Okay, well, we're gonna address that a little bit later on in the class, but you pull in, drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy, step back, and then step back, and then step back. Yeah, I'm stepping back with a load. Then I'm gonna step forward and step forward and step forward. Drop your shoulders. And you see, I'm not gripping this. I'm not holding it like this. These carries are hanging from my fingertips. That's what you need to see and hear, okay? Drop those shoulders, tighten in your tummy, drop your chin. Now take a step back. It doesn't have to be big. But what it does have to do is it has to be straight. So when you put your foot behind you, you want to go keep your toes forward. Okay, now lift your rib cage, take one more step. Doesn't have to be a big step, a step. Okay, straighten back up again. And see how I'm stepping carefully backwards? Okay, forward, 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 forward. Walking backwards is one of the nail biters for anybody who has balance issues. And I hope what you're noticing is I'm doing like a little bit of a crouch. Yes, I'm lowering my center of gravity. Take a big breath, step forward, keep your knees soft. Keep your knees soft. See, I'm crouching just a little bit. So even though you're crouching, you keep your chin tucked, your shoulders down, drop down a little bit. Now say rib cage up, and then go back, and then go back, and then go back. And I'm doing all of this with 2 jugs that are 10 pounds each, okay? Take a big deep breath, come back around. And now we're gonna do a little curl. See, I'm gonna come like this, and I'm gonna come like this, okay? So careful, careful. You don't have to do it hard. You don't have to hurt your wrist in trying to do it. You're just gonna go elbow back, elbow back. See that? Elbow back, elbow back. Now, as I'm doing this lift backwards with my 2 10-pound jugs, okay, I am doing a little tiny hip hinge. It's called a hip hinge, okay? I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. I'm gonna act like I'm sitting on a high stool. That's a hip hinge. See that? Just like that, okay? It would be very hard to sit on a stool if I just went down like this. So I'm hip hinging to get my butt out there, but I'm gonna keep my chin tucked. And as I go back and down and back and down, do not go so high and think that you have to pull with your wrist. You do not, okay? Now I'm gonna go down a little further, still with my carries, my 2 10-pound carries. And again, if you didn't have 2 jugs that are 10 pounds each, then do it with your weights. Do it with your weights, okay? It could be, you know, a medium weight lift for you. So now I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna make sure that my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm gonna go very wide here in just a minute, but right now, they're shoulder width apart, okay? Like that. See that? Okay? Now I'm gonna go down as if I'm gonna put these things down. So that means I gotta get my butt down. My butt down, my butt down. Release. and come up. Now, what's so big about that move? Okay. If I were with you in your room right now, you know, I would have caught you doing. We were going to put our item down, correct? Trying to get these sleeves out of my way. Okay. When you go down to pick up or put down a suitcase, a pail of water, your carries, you know what you do? You bring your head and shoulders down and you keep your butt up. That's a problem, okay? Not only does it get you dizzy, but it doesn't stress the correct muscles, especially when you've got a 20-pound load, okay? Go into your heels. Your knees are gonna come out some, but go into your heels, okay? Now take your butt down more. Do not put your head and shoulders down lower than your butt. Grab your suitcase, grab your jugs, grab your weights, grab your bucket, grab your logs, whatever you're carrying, okay? Take a big breath through your nose. Now push again. Again, my feet are shoulder width, not wider, not yet, okay? And I'm going down just to put these down. Now practice, push through your butt. Put your item down. So wherever you're at, you gotta bring your butt down. Then grab them again and come up. Now squeeze your rear end right now. Squeeze it. Hey, I'm gonna do 2 more, just like I did, because some of you are listening and you're trying to put your butt down instead of doing this, which is what everybody does. And then they wonder why they have a backache. And then they wonder why this and why they got dizzy and all that kind of stuff. Okay, give yourself a fighting chance. Even though it's gonna make me scream a little. That's what we want, okay? So push your butt back, shine your tail lights, keep your chin tucked, take your butt down, not your shoulders, not your head, go all the way down there, okay? And then pull back up. Now squeeze your rear end. Okay, 1 more, here we go, down, drop down, drop down, drop down, drop down, grab, come back up, okay? Now, step forward. You got it? Yeah, you don't have to go forward too much. And again, here's my disclaimer or my tip so that you don't fall over on your nose. We're gonna do a single leg maneuver here. I've got 2 weights in my hands. Okay, I'm going to keep my chin tucked. I'm leaning in because I'm going to play around with lifting my toe in back. Okay, not that you have to come off the ground, just even act like you're going to. See right there? Yeah, keep this knee bent. Okay, push your butt back, drop your shoulders, big breath, and try to release that toe. Breath, 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 down. Go back into it. Here we go. Drop your shoulders, big breath. Bend that front knee. Try to lift that little toe a little tiny bit. Breath, 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 and down. Okay, I just did 2. See, I didn't say 3, I just did 2. Okay, are you ready? Of course you're ready. Take a big breath through your nose. Oh, let me finish the story. Okay, split stance first. Get in your stance. So I just stepped back. If you struggle with balance, what I just did is enough to throw you. You know what you did? If you put your leg back too narrow, it's gonna make you wobble, okay? So what I'm saying is split stance, but widen your stance, okay? So here I am, rib cage up, drop your shoulders, keep in the chin, step back, but step a little wider. Don't turn your toe out, no, just step wider, See, I've widened my base. See that? Big breath into the nose. Yes. Okay, here I am. I'm going to load the front leg. See, I'm on my toe in the back. We've already practiced that a lot in the warm-up, correct? Okay, rib cage up. And I'm going to just play around with the possibility of lifting my toe and back. See that? It's not much. But you know what this does? This gets all my body weight and these jug weights into that front leg. Okay, try not to overbend. This is the one where I tend to overbend, and you'll overbend if you don't keep your front knee bent, really bent. Okay, so press into it. Try your best to let that toe go in the back. Take a big breath, and come back. Okay. Yeah, I know. Okay, just two more. Here we go. Oh, just a second. I'm getting hot. So see, I have an overhead fan, which, back to my story, is I was talking to this gal who was having some heart issues. And she's also having osteoporosis issues. You know, all the, what do I do? Okay, so she's finding out that she needs to, in fact, do exactly what we're doing. Squatting, loading, carry, you know, the whole bit. You're going to get hot. Put a fan on you, okay? Because you don't want your body to work so hard doing the work, but also keeping you cool. That's why so many people have trouble with cold weather and hot weather. The body's trying to regulate as well as work. That's a lot, okay? Then if you have some kind of heart issues on top of that, woo, that's like a perfect storm. Okay, what am I doing? I'm holding a stance. I'm bending my knee. I'm rib caging up, okay? And I'm thinking, I'm just fixing. Okay, for some of you who don't know that, fixing means I'm thinking about it. To lift my toe. See that? So this is a very hard one for me because this is my hip replace side. Again, I'm trying not to overlean, and I'm releasing my toe, and I'll get off balance. But put your toe back. That's why you don't lift your toe way up. Okay? You just barely think about lifting it. See that? Okay. These few seconds that you really push this whole leg, this is the spine, the hip, the knee, the foot. It's taken all of this pressure, and this is good loading. But this one's very difficult for me to keep my foot up on. Okay, it's really pushing. Then you bring it back. Take a big deep breath. Okay. So we lifted that back leg back. And now we're going to do one more with this medium carry. Yes, I call this a medium carry because these are just two jugs of water, basically. Okay. Now I'm going to step. Now I'm going to go down. I'm going to bend that knee and go way down, just like we did a while ago. But we're going to be split stanced. Okay. So rib cage up. Stay with me, you guys. I'm doing all of this with you. I know very well how this is feeling. And sometimes you just say, okay, that's enough. But I'm begging you, take a break and then come back in. Okay, because just going from task to task, especially today, because I'm doing a whole program around carries. So I'm going to go down like this. And I'm going to come back up. So we should have noticed something if you were watching the me do this. You should have noticed that I did not put my head and my chest down first. Right. Stay up, go down, grab, and come up. I know it. That's one of the good things about having a carry with the handle on top. So it could be a suitcase, could be as simple as a suitcase. you know, a little overnight bag, okay? And so if you have a little overnight bag that you can grab like that, that's great. So I'm just saying, if you don't have that right now, then you're going to use your weights, okay? And you're going to go down and grab them. It's going to go a little further, and I'll do that in a minute. See, I'm staying in this split stance even though it's pushing me everywhere. This is a good thing. Okay, push, 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 push. Go down, 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 grab, and come back up. Yeah, you should be feeling it in that front leg and the back calf for sure. Okay, take a big breath. And exhale. Okay, so back to my story. Sorry. I know. I feel Kathy rolling her eyes. Would you get on with the story? Oh, I'm explaining things, Kathy. For those of you who are just pulling this up, Kathy is my counter. Okay, there's a few classics that have been with me for years. Okay. So Kathy does lots of things to try to keep me on track. Anyway, here I go. So now I've changed feet. I've changed feet. Back to the story. She was saying, this gal, so see, I don't bend down with my upper body. What do? I bend down with my back leg, right? Yeah. And if that's getting you off balance, you must do this with one carry. Put your hand on the chair, put your hand on a wall, put your hand on the bed, okay? You have to do this and set yourself up safely so you don't tumble over, okay? I'll give you Kay's number and she can clue you in. Sorry, Kay. Okay. When I give you warnings, take it seriously. Okay, here we go. Down, down, down. The lady was saying, oh, I got to talk to my cardiologist because when I go down and grab the weights and come back up to do my squats, like we're doing right now, she said, you know, I get really breathless. I'm like, well, maybe save your money. You can talk to your cardiologist, but notice whether or not you're holding your breath. Oh, I kind of do that. Okay. Don't hold your breath. You're breathing in right now. See that? I'm going to grab these carries and I'm going to exhale. E. Exhale on exertion. Okay, breathe in. Place them down. Come back up. Exhale. Okay, breathe in. Grab them. Exhale. Yeah, that's how you do it. And you don't then have to fight for breath because you created an oxygen debt. Because believe it or not, these little things we're doing makes you create oxygen debt. And if you hold your breath, you're going to have that real breathless feeling. Okay. All right. Now, here's my pad, which I've used this a lot. I still have about 4 of them that I'm not really using. And they're, you know, they're brand new, basically. Anyway, it's a balance pad. Many of you have gotten it from physical therapists. This is 2 inches. It's spongy. Okay. It's a really thick, firm pad. However, that said, it is spongy when you step on it. And we did this the other day with bare feet. So as I go into the next segment now, take a big breath again. Big breath through the nose, out through the nose if possible. Okay. So put your foot right in the middle of the pad. Okie dokie. Let me set this up a little bit different. See my chair? So pretty much you need a firm kitchen chair to do this class because we use a chair a lot. A little balance pad. Somehow to load yourself. So you see what I'm doing right now? I'm stepping on my pad. I'm coming right here and I'm kicking my foot out. Maybe that's the wrong word to say. I'm pushing my foot out and I'm gonna go down now and tap my heel. And we do these regularly. These are so good to do if you wanna maintain integrity in your hip and leg, okay? So not only am I working the front part of my shin, which that's called the tibialis anterior, okay? The front of the tibialis, the shin bone, shin muscles. See that? Okay. Do you see this little dip? I'm only dipping 2 inches, okay? And I'm staying upright and I'm coming down. So this is not only great for the whole musculature around the knee, but for your hip, your back. It's taking your whole body weight, and we're gonna have weight here in just a minute. See how I'm doing this repeatedly? I'm keeping the toe up and I'm just going tap with my heel, tap with my heel. And you do that, somebody will say, how many? How many can you do without this just totally going on you? That's what you wanna do. So mine was getting pretty hot. Okay, so now I'm gonna step off and I'm going to the other one. So I'm gonna put my foot in the middle, okay? And I've got my chair here. Why? Not so I can grip it with a death grip, but so that I can just lightly place my hand here to keep myself straight. Because on this side, which this is my challenge, my big challenge side, and for years and years and years, it used to be this side because this is my knee replacement. I have a total knee replacement, total hip replacement. One side, the other side. So I know what I'm talking about. Okay, look at here. I'm gonna bring this forward. When I go down, I don't wanna go down all funny like this. I don't wanna go down with my shoulder up here hanging onto this chair. No, straighten yourself up. Your foot is in the middle. You see that? Chin is tucked. When I go down, I'm going to hip hinge. I'm lightly putting my hand here. I'm going to keep my shoulders in symmetry. I go down and tap that heel. So as I was saying, this is such a good move to do on a very regular basis. You can do this every day, okay? 10 of them, just do 10. You can do it on a stair. Some of you, I can hear somebody saying, well, I don't have one of those little cute pads. I said, well, they're everywhere. I have 4 right now. I saw them this morning. So I'll have them out and available next time y'all come over here. Sorry, Lisa. Lisa. Lisa's in Alabama, so she can't just come over here. Take a big breath. I have all kinds of people coming on or using my videos. That's great. That's my payment, basically. Okay, hip hinge, rib cage up, don't lean, come down and tap that heel and come back. Okay, so do this correctly. Oh my goodness. Yes, it can be incredibly boring, or it can be incredibly revealing on how you move. Like for me right now, even though I just barely have my hand here, on this side, when I do this little 2-inch dip, I can tell that I use my arm a lot more. Okay, I'm trying not to. And how do you try not to? You put fingers, a couple of fingers. But my biggest goal in using this for me is to not let myself lean, okay? I want to really put it here where I need to work on those muscles, but I have to be careful, okay? So for hip replace people, this one's a great one for you. If you have trouble with your foot and you're tripping and you have a problem getting your toe up, this one's also for you, because look at here, I'm holding that toe up the whole time. See how I'm coming down until this starts heating up. Yeah, I'm trying to really use those muscles. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. And take a big breath. Woo! Swing, 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 swing. So even though I'm on this little square and it's very firm, some pillows are not that firm, you're having to work because it's a very compromising, mushy kind of a platform. See that? Okay, now we've done a lot of forwards and back up to this point, okay? Now we're gonna go side, and we're gonna do this several different ways, okay? Not only am I gonna step and shift, so this is a stepping, shifting, okay? Or we'll do it on the other side so you get the feel, okay? No weights yet. Your chair is here if you need it. I'm gonna step, but I'm gonna shift. See, I shifted. I moved the hips into here. So that's a whole different move than what this is. See, I'm gonna approach. I'm gonna come off center. I'm gonna get more close to the edge. Not so it's gonna flip, but now I'm not gonna shift. What am I gonna do? You see this? You might not see this, but I'm dropping the hip. I'm keeping my toe up. Number one, the other foot, uncurl your toes. How did I know that? Because I have really cool slugs in my class and I know exactly what you're gonna do. You try to do any kind of little cheater move. Curling your toes is a cheater move, so open your toes. You're gonna feel more unbalanced, but open them, okay? And then to get your foot down on the floor, totally down on the floor, what are you gonna have to do? Hip hinge. Drop your chin, boom. See that? It's a tiny little drop, 2 inches. See that? Take a big breath. Bend your hip, push your butt back, and bend your knee. Okay? So this is incredibly good to create bone density up through your spine because you're in extension, and your hip because you're really loading. Okay? So I just went ahead to do the repeated non-shifting weight loading kind of a maneuver. See that? So right now you should just be feeling like, wow, burned up. I know. So we'll come over here. We'll do the shifting one in just a second. Since we're already here, we'll do this. Okay. Do you see how my pad, I came off center? I got over here to the corner. Not so far that you're gonna flip it, okay? Take a big breath, yes, okay? Got my chair if I need it, my wall, whatever. Tight tummy, ready? Now I'm gonna stand here, see, level. But then I'm gonna hang this foot out here and I'm gonna get my toe up so that my foot is flat on the bottom. So I don't want it up too far. I want my whole foot to go on the floor. Now I'm gonna hip hinge and I'm gonna knee bend. So this one is incredibly beneficial to me because this is my hip replace side. And what do I always wanna do? I wanna shift around and I wanna use the stronger muscles. This one won't let you do that, but you gotta get your positioning correct. Okay, and so I don't wanna lean, I don't wanna over lean, so that's why I'm lightly got my hand on my chair, my hip hinge, and I'm just coming down. I'm doing little tiny squats on one side. Take a big breath. Hip hinge, knee bend. Yeah, hip hinge, knee bend, and it's only 2 inches. See, that's the neat thing about this particular move. You don't have to think, oh, I just can't go all the way down, pick up those big old things. Start little. then you do a lot of repetitions and you don't hold your breath. So back to my conversation with the gal who has realized now that she needs to, on purpose, do squats with weights. And we're gonna do those. We're gonna do full squats. But notice what we've done this morning. We've done split leg, hip hinging. We've done single leg hip hinging. See this? See that? Yeah. Breath. And we're gonna go to full squats here in just a second. Okay. So it'll be so fun. Okay, don't go too fast that you're not thinking. See, hip hinge, rib cage up. You're gonna put that foot down and then come back. This is a great way to start. Now, if you're doing this correctly, you're gonna feel one side of your back get tight. Yeah, that's for a reason. Okay, step wide. And if it's tight, if it builds up a lot of tension, I'll say it that way, you do this. This is a great way to loosen up a tight back. You don't throw yourself and you don't go far. See how my knees are soft? I'm kind of like riding a horse. And then I turn around my waist. I don't turn my legs, okay? They're gonna turn a little, but I'm not turning them on purpose. Drop my shoulders, reach, then come to center, then come this way. See, I'm not slinging. So if somebody knows that they have pretty significant osteoporosis, twisting and turning is not something you want to do. And if you do turning, which this is a normal turning, see this? I'm not saying pull, push. I'm just helping you recover because we've done a lot of front to back motion and squatting or semi-squatting, hip hinging, I'll call it hip hinging, up to now. That takes, especially if you're keeping your back extended like I want you to, it takes a lot of back extensors and they get tight. And then you're all freaking out and you're thinking, oh man. This is how you loosen up. Then you put your hands on your, right above your knees, and then you push your spine back. So I'll turn to the side. You go like this, and you push your spine back. So why is it okay to round my spine now? Why would that be? Because I've unloaded. See this? I'm resting, I'm recovering, I'm pushing back. I'm doing what's called a cat camel. And then I'll come down, bring my chin up, and then I'll go back into that rounded mad cat position, and then I'll go back. Take a big deep breath, then I'll go back. Okay? And go back. So that's how you loosen up a tight back. If it's just tight because you've used it and you've really pushed it, yeah, that's what you do. Okay, I'm going to use my chair. For some of these, I'm going to put this pad right in front so I can put my feet on it. I'll show you why in a minute. So what I'm going to do now, and anybody tuning in to some of these, after you've watched enough of them, you know what I'm doing. I'm putting on my hand weights. I'm putting on my, my gloves for my hand weights, okay? I like to use free weight because it makes you stabilize and use your core and your body like nothing else, okay? So I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up a 9 calibrated weight, okay? So some of you have weights that are, I don't know, you have 5-pound weights, you have 8-pound weights, you have 10-pound weights. These are changed in 3-pound segments, okay? 3-pound weight loads. So this just happens to be 9. So I'm gonna step wide and I'm gonna have a sit down. See that? I'm going to put my feet on the 2-inch high, very compliant pillow. And I'm going to go out a little bit. So at the same time that I'm going to be stressing my arms and my upper body, I hang my heel on the front edge and I drop my toes. And here's my little trainer's tip. When you drop your toes, what many of you are going to do, unless you're thinking about it, is you're going to let your knee kind of go out and it just rotates your ankle out. So I want you to get a stretch coming all the way into the front, and I want you to push the bend in the back of the heel where the Achilles is. See how I'm pushing it down? But don't let this drift out. Make your legs stay straight on. Okie dokie. Take a big deep breath. Yes. I'm going to bring my 9-pound weight just off of my legs and then come back. Okay. Now, if you have a 5-pound weight, if you have a 4-pound weight, that's fine. I would love for you to get past 2 pounds. So if you can get 3, 4, 5, if you can do 6, if you can do 8, 9, 10, right here. See that? So I'm going to come 1, 2, see how I'm turning a tiny bit? 4, then I'm going to turn my hands. I'm going to go 1, I'm keeping my toes down. 3, 4, yeah. Yeah, I'm counting every one. See, I'm not doing the 1 and 2 and, just because it makes you think you're doing more. I hope you found that humorous, Kathy. Okay, keep going. Take a big breath. Here I am. Yeah, so I want to stress the whole front arm. That's why I'm in a palm up position. You see me lean in from the hips. You see me open at the hips, okay? See, that's okay. Keep your toes heading down. You should be stretching them, big, big stretches. Breath in through the nose. Breath. 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 Go, breath. Go, breath. And turn. And come back and come back. Okay, now ease up on those toes, bring them all the way up. Let me see what I've got over here. Somebody might be, I hope you're seeing me okay. So here I am. See this? Now what I want you to do is come, instead of bending forward at your hip, I want you to go back. Okay, at your hip only. So drop your shoulders, tighten your tummy. When you open and go back, now when I lift my hand with my weight, it's all core, okay? You gotta tighten your tummy. So when you come off of center with your hip, see, I'm calling center. This is neutral. This is about 90 degrees. So I close it, close it, close it. See that? So now I'm like 60 degrees. Here's 90. Now I'm gonna open it. So now I'm gonna be maybe 110, 120, open angle. See that? So when you open back, say rib cage up. I got my toes up. See, my toes are up. I'm on my heels. Take a breath. Open. Go over, over. Oh, come 1, 2. Breath, 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 breath. Rib cage up. Rib cage up. Yep. Rib cage up, breathe. Rib cage up. Woo. Breath, 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 and breath. And come back. Okay. Now we're going to go to the back of the arms. Okie dokie, you still have 9 pounds here. I have 9 pounds in one hand, 9 pounds in the other hand. So I hope you've chosen something that's going to push you a little bit. Okay. I hope you're noticing what I'm doing with my feet. So for that last set, see, I had my toes up and I made my tibialis anterior really work, okay? Now I'm gonna go out, just like that. See that? And I'm gonna keep my toes up, but I'm pointing out like a duck, okay? I'm pushing into my heels, then I'm gonna open, just like that. Now tighten your tummy. You're gonna bring one hand up, the other hand up. Take a big deep breath, open, and they're resting on your shoulders, okay? So when you take your elbows open, you should be feeling stretching all around that shoulder girdle. Take a big breath, and then just come here to your ears. See that? And then come right to your shoulders. Keep your toes up, keep them flaring. Take a big breath, woo, right there, and back down. Big breath, exhale, big breath, exhale, exhale, exertion. Breath, keep your elbows open, woo, take a breath, big breath. See, I just go to my ears. Okay, rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Breath, breath. One more. Here we go. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Say rib cage up, rib cage up, rib cage up. Bring it in, bring it in. That was so fun. Okay, put your feet flat now. Oh, can you believe how hard that was? Just keeping those feet in that position? Yes. So working on your upper body, you can also work on that very important ankle, foot, lower leg, okay, with this little pad, because you're up, it gets you in a good position to work. Okay, still with 9 pound. Now I'm gonna close my angle. See that? I'm gonna try to get as parallel as I can to the floor. So with my feet on the little pad, see that? I'm gonna push into the heels. I got my elbows right here. See? They're just gonna come right here alongside my body. That's very important. So as you pull them up, and they're right here, your elbows are squeezing in. Now we can push back safely. So this is shoulder, and now we roll those shoulder blades in. You are gripping the barrel of the free weights. You are really pushing into your toes, into your heels. See, toes, heels. Take a rib cage up. Really come down here as far as you can. Pull in those elbows. Go all the way back now. Pull those shoulder blades in and release the shoulder blades. Then pull them in and release the shoulder blades and pull them in. Keep your chin tucked and release the shoulder blades. Now pull them in. Keep your shoulders down. And then I'm going to go push. I'm going to go push with my shoulder blades really pulling in and my shoulders down. I'm really milking the backs of those arms right later. Push. So it's a push, push, right there, push, right there, push. Keep your chin tucked. Don't hang that head out. Whatever you do, don't hang that head out. Just a couple more, push. Keep the elbows as high as possible, as high as possible, as high as possible. Okay, bring them back. I know, that was just a little bonus that I decided to introduce to all you sluggy slugs out there. Okay, take a big breath. Let me check my time. Okay, release your hands, open your hands, bring your leg up like that. See, I'm opening them. I'm coming under here. My rib cage is up. And just to recover, I'm just going to come here a couple of times. Take a look at how your knee and your foot is positioning. And if they're turning out or in, straighten something up. See this? Rib cage up. Do it a couple of times, then go over to the other side. Time flies when you're having fun. Oh, are you done with that one? Did you do them enough? Kathy's already quit by now. Okay, other leg. She may be gone. I don't know if she's at physical therapy or not. Take a big deep breath. Say rib cage up. I know. If those of you who are with me on Wednesday, I would love to hear later on who got a little sore in their hamstrings. Right back here. Ooh, I have a feeling you probably did. Okay, but that's okay. It makes you know you're not dead yet. Here we go. Turn. That's just a joke. Take a breath. You gotta laugh, you guys. If you don't laugh, well, you just cry all the time. So I don't think we're supposed to do that. Okay, kick that out, or you could stand up on it. Hey, whatever floats you is fine with me. But now we're gonna kick up the loading. Instead of 10-pound jugs, 10-pound suitcase, a 10-pound carry, we're gonna pick up both weight loads in my hand as high as you can take it. So for me, that's gonna be double. That's gonna be 18 and 18, okay? So this is our last huge move, because I wanted to end today with a very heavy carry. The same, oh, these dogs, I swear, they overreact. Okay, see how I'm pulling my shoulders? So what you might say to yourself, oh my gosh, I can't do 18. I'm gonna do some carries that could be the same kind of weight that you use when you go traveling. See how I'm pulling my shoulders up, dropping them, pulling them up, dropping them. This could be an 18-pound carry-on, okay? I'm just trying to get it so that you can keep doing that. So I'm standing my ground. I'm really pulling through the shoulders, which they can take this kind of a pull. Then I'm gonna go pull together. Then I'm gonna come right down to neutral. Then I'm gonna soften my knees. Big breath. And then exhale, okay? Bring it up. And now I'm gonna go down, 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 down. And I'm gonna come back, okay? Because I'm gonna pick that load up 3 times. You do what you can. And again, if you wanna go wider, go wider. About shoulder width is fine for me. Kind of like I have 2 suitcases here and here. See that? So as you do the move to prep for this, really, really ask yourself, am I in correct lifting stance? At least shoulder width, hip hinge, chin tucked, tight in the tummy, grab, drop your butt. Ah, right there. Shoulders, 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 bring it down. Come back up. Go back down. Drop your butt. Shoulders, 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 bring it down. Make sure when you're going down, you don't go so fast that you forget and you make the crucial mistake of taking your head and shoulders down lower than your butt. Okay, here's the last one. We're gonna hold it down there for a second. Ready? Hip hinge, take your butt out, grab them. Now pull those shoulders down and hold. And go 1, 2, push into the heels, 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 and come up. Just like that. Now I'm gonna come right down here. Put my weights up. I think we're done with time. We started right off today and we're ending right off. Good job, y'all. Okay, let me stop.